you're cool, then I'm cool, then we're cool. Hi everybody, welcome back to What is up with mental health and everything else. And I just want to start off this podcast with saying being black is being powerful, and that is because of Black History Month.
Amen to that.
Yes.
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. Yes. And I love that we are introducing you to this episode tonight on the second day of February, so we could just get right into Black History Month and right into creators and Black excellence and things of that nature. And of course, I am Latavia Balmer. I will be your host tonight. And again, I am here with personal counselor Brenda Sherd. And we're introducing you to what is up with influencers effect. So let's really get into it. What is an influencer? An influencer is any person or thing that either uplifts you or
moves you in a certain direction.
Yes.
Makes you feel some type of way. Makes you think of a particular thing, behave in a certain way.
Yep.
An influencer, they're monumental in
Yep.
a way because I think we can all think about somebody who has influenced us, and not just like sometimes you hear that in a bad way, like that was a bad influence, but no. Like we're talking about positive influencers. We're talking about people that have helped you see new grounds and higher lights and whatnot. Influencers are powerful, and it's a great way that we learn about things outside of ourselves and outside of our normal experience.
Yeah, and of course, this is a positive platform, and we're always going to speak positivity.
Absolutely.
But in order to, shine light on positivity, we also got to have a little bit of what the negatives
hold. A little contrast.
A little balance in
That's
between
right.
the two. So although we have influencers who motivate you in the best way possible, we also have influencers who, disencourage you. So you have to be, strong enough or diligent enough to, determine whether or not this is the type of influence you want in your life. Because like I said last night when I went to an event, show me your friends, I show you your future. So the kind of same thing when you have an influencer around you. So you just want to be mindful who you allow in your circle. But this is tonight's episode. We're going to get down about influencers,
Let's do it. Can you think of, can you name a few, not even a few, but maybe just one in particular, an influencer that you've had personally in your life?
I honestly have, now that I can say, I have many influencers than I did before I came to Bloomfield College.
Okay.
I was literally solo, working by myself, but now I have a mentor, and she's a great influencer. You are a great influencer being on the podcast. My roommates, they're great influencers. My friends, great influencers. So these are people who motivate me to be better, to push me to continue creating my legacy and more. So I thank them. I even today I gave my thanks to my mentor and my sweet me, and I let them know like I'm grateful for them being in my lives, because I never knew what crazy things would transpire between our relationship. So yeah, what about you? What type of influencers you have?
I there's quite a bit. So we've been doing this guys group on campus bi-weekly every Thursday from 3 to 4. You guys should join us. But some of the people that I do the group with, like there's a couple moderators, and shout out to Lewis from the Chance Program. He's the director of Chance Program, and also to Paul from the Trio Program. I should say Louis Guerra. I think that's how you say your last name, and then Paul Latour from Trio. Great group of people, great group of guys. Like they opened up my mind a lot about my life personally, and they're like within my age group, if you will, and we share life experiences and thoughts about how to go about things and how to live our best lives, in the male context. And I'm learning a couple things, and they're a good influence.
Okay.
They're both a great influence, and I'm very thankful to be in that space to do that work, between us and then of the students, of course. But I was doing it to help students, but sometimes I'm getting a lot of help out of it too.
That's great. That is
Yeah,
really, really great.
yeah.
And as I'm sitting here and we're actively speaking about this topic, I just want to, turn away from the people that we work with every day and that we see in everyday life. I want to talk about little things that influence our lives. Like every time I come on this podcast, you always hear music. And music is a great influence for me. Whenever I'm down, happy, I just want to express creativity. I want to dance. I want to laugh. I want to, just create poetry, things like that. I listen to music. Music calms me and influences me to like be my most authentic self. Because when I listen to music, I'm the most free I can be. I don't care who's listening. I don't care who's watching. I'm going to sing. I'm going to dance. I'm going to shout. I'm going to do all the things that I want to do. So music is a great influence, but music can also be a bad influence depending on what music you listen to. But, to each his own. You don't want to take away someone's preference of what type of music they want to listen to. But I do know that a lot of a certain type of music have like a powerful pull, and it can alter your thinking, alter the ways that you go about life, how you view yourself, how you view other people, and you start to indulge in activities that you would never thought you would do. And then now you're this type of person who either hurts themselves or hurt others around them because of what you're listening to, what you choose to like dictate your emotions and thoughts.
Oh yes.
So
I totally agree with what you just said there, because it's true. Like music is a powerful force. It You hear a certain song and it can change your entire emotion for that moment, and it can last for quite some time. You listen to certain lyrics within a song, and it can make you think, and it can resonate within you in such a way where it's like, it just puts you in this different headspace a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's all very much dependent on the content of the song in itself. And sometimes even, not even just a song, but it can be like the whole album production.
Yeah.
What is the message? Because music is made with an intention.
Yeah.
And what has that intention be? Like, I kid you not, like, I struggle trying to listen to like daily radio on my drive to work, because I need music that's going to put me into focus mode, or like get me revved up in a positive way to get to work and do positive things. And I can't honestly say that everything on the radio today has a positive message to it.
Yeah, I like to think like you produce negativity, that's exactly what you get in return. So I understand what you mean with the radio. I cannot even turn on the radio. With me, everything is energy based.
Yes,
so,
energy based.
Yes, frequency is like an energy. So whenever I listen to the radio, I just feel the frequency of it, and I'm just like, no, cut it off. Let me play my playlist. Let me play what I know I feel comfortable with, I could connect with. So that is an influence, because you have people on the radio and they're speaking how they feel, and either they're producing positivity or producing negativity, and they're spewing it across many listeners, and people who listen to them constantly on a daily, they probably are going to develop the same belief systems.
It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible. I mean, especially if the music creates a connection. It's shared experience in artistic form. And sometimes it can perpetuate something that is good. But, it's been told that it's the negativity and the drama and the, conflict that kind of sells.
Yeah.
And like, there's a little bit of my strife with the radio, because it's not necessarily about promoting what's good and healthy for you. It's sometimes promoting
what's popular. Yeah,
what's most instinctually driving, which is
Yeah.
not always in the best ways.
Yeah, I'm not going to like honestly, okay, with 2020 COVID,
Mhm.
okay, the music that we always listen to, when I'm saying all, like the people in my age group, we will listen to very depressing music, like so much depression. If you know who Raw Wave is, then you know how 2020 went for us. Raw Wave every single day.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like that was so popular. That was it, and like his music was like heartbreak kind of
Okay.
thing, and it influenced us to just be like so cold hearted and guarded and protect ourselves because like first we're going through this depressive episode anyway, where we can't leave our houses, we can't talk to our friends. Well, we can, but we can't be around them. We can't do any of the things that we usually
Oh yeah.
enjoy. And now the only thing that we can enjoy as a collective is this artist's music. So that's an influencer. Like you feel me? So
Yeah. Like I can totally understand how like at that point then music was an outlet. Um, it sounds like that music was reflective of the times, which
yeah.
music does do. Oh yes, that's where the message comes from of what's happening in real
Listen to
life.
this.
Is that right way right
Oh
there?
no, that's not the right way.
I couldn't hear it yet.
Once 2021 ended, I'm like,
We
wrap up. I need positivity in my
Yeah.
life, you
No,
know?
freaking Lizzo had made a song, right? She there it is quoted like she's gonna let loose once they let her out this house. Like there's so much music coming out about COVID and then about the great escape, if you will,
Yeah.
from isolation and lack of social interaction.
Yeah.
And that it was very like if it's usually if it's a positive song, like, yeah, go, like I can't wait, like it gets me hyped up in a good way, just energized, and you know, it helps me to have like good thoughts and emotions with it, and that's one example. And there's a lot more, like
Yeah.
a lot more.
Yeah. Aside from music though, there are a lot of other influencers out
Oh
there,
yeah,
or influence if you will.
you want to talk about the main like influential entity that we all have or have been. I got one for you if you're interested.
Oh, well, it is there. You know, you can't escape it.
Yeah,
We,
yeah.
as soon as we wake up, majority of us check them. So,
Hey.
social media, like we can't
Yes.
like just have a side eye for that or turn a blind eye to social media because we're literally posting on a social media platform. Like what? So I would say for starters, we are influencers. You know,
Okay.
we influence positivity. We
Yes,
influence
yes.
everyone to have a great mental health so they can be their best selves
Absolutely.
and produce so much that they thought they couldn't do, or be their most confident self. Just be a better you than you were yesterday. So we are influencers. We sit, we talk every Thursday. We bring topics to
Absolutely.
those who probably don't even discuss these types of topics. But aside from that, there's a whole other side of social media with other influencers who, basically show you how to live a life that
Yeah.
everyone wants so quickly, or, just give you alternatives of
Yeah.
what can be possible or what you would want, So
It's the showcase
yeah,
of life and all of its wonders, accomplishments, beauties, if you will.
yeah,
Um, talk about Instagram, if you will. Yeah, it's the highlights,
yeah,
and it's very good looking stuff, like and it can help you motivate you to achieve it, to obtain it. It can help you to like know what the latest trends are, and what's popular.
Yeah, it's like everything, honestly, with Instagram is like everything's there. Like you want a new recipe, all you gotta do is scroll. You got a new
Right, yeah,
recipe.
right,
You
right.
want to match a skirt with something, there you go. Like you want quotes, they're there. You feel me? So Instagram is just like right there in the palm of your hand. Like you can't escape it. But you have to understand how powerful
Yes.
it
How,
is.
how actually powerful
How,
it is.
exactly, and sometimes it's a lie. Not the examples that I gave you, but I'm saying like some people that fans look up to. Like their influence of choice, how they go about their life, and how what they decide, and however someone say, okay, this is cool, I want it, but you have to understand, like, you don't even know how they got that. You don't even know if
Right.
it's
The
real.
story.
So you're fantasizing about something that somebody else has had, someone else have, and the whole time it's just for them to get money. Literally, that's it. So here you go trying to live that life, and they just like, oh, I got paid to do that. I got paid to do that.
Right.
So that's an influence on you too, because like you never know, really. You just never know.
Yeah, yeah. And it's okay to like dream about and want to get to that point that you see right in your face using social media. But know that it comes with like a lot of effort, and social media shows you it's like instant gratification, if
Yes,
you will.
that's the
That's
thing.
that's the word, if you will. It's gratification that like, oh, but it's just a quick scroll, boom, success, boom, success, boom, success, boom, success, and it doesn't always show the trials and tribulations, if you
Yeah.
will, that it took to get to that point. But yet we see it. That's all we see. The outcome, outcome, and it's like, oh man, I really want to get to that point, but it's not always easy,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot of effort to get there. So it's like don't beat yourself down if you're not to where you want to be at yet,
Yeah.
because you're wanting something that you've seen on Instagram constantly and over. Like you, the work it takes work to get there.
Yeah, basically what we're saying is like social media is fast paced. Like everything on social media is fast paced. You could upload something in a second. You understand? So when you see all of these people exceeding or living a glamorous life, you think it's that quick, and it's not. So literally what we're saying is like social media is a powerful entity because of how fast it is.
Yes.
So like there is steps or which stages, if you will. But these people that's on like have this platform, they are like trained in a sense. They're trained to do what they produce. They're trained to have a target audience, to do these things to gain that target audience. So you have to really be like mindful enough to know whether or not this is for you. Like, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Big time. Again, it's the showcase of it all.
Yeah.
They've definitely hidden all of the rough battles and the storms that have happened to get to that point. Or and sometimes too, a lot of stuff on Instagram can be cat.
Yeah, it's a lie.
Straight lies. Like somebody just took a picture next to a fancy car. And it's like, out somewhere.
And you know what gets them? It be the captions. Like it really be the captions. Like you could have a regular picture, and you could have a dope caption, and somebody be like, "What? I gotta get like this. I need that thing. You feel me? I need that." So it really just be about how you present it. Really, everything is about presentation. So yeah.
So it's like don't always believe the hype.
Absolutely not.
It's not hard to Photoshop something or like.
Oh, please, the Photoshop. I feel like Photoshop was the worst thing ever created, because not only does Photoshop allow you to alter yourself, but it also brings in insecurities, with yourself and with all the other people. So I take a picture right now, I go to Photoshop, I'm like, oh, my hair, don't like it. Oh, I could change that right now. My eyes too far apart. Let me close them together.
Oh.
Just looking at yourself, you're like, I have this tool to alter myself, and I could just put it on social media, and everyone is telling me how beautiful I am, and that is now you're seeking outside validation.
Yes, oh yes, and you're creating another identity.
Exactly. That's not even
You're
real.
going to have those two identities competing against one another. And honestly, there's only one truth, which is the actual lived experience. But yet, here you are creating this, what do you call it, alter ego, different personality, just a new image that, if then altered, like, that's not even your real characteristics. It is altered by a computer.
Exactly.
I mean, you're setting yourself up.
You're setting yourself up, and then there are people out here that don't even know this is what you're doing, and they're like, "Oh my God, I wish I was as pretty as her, or I was as built as him, or I was as confident as these people." And the whole time, they're producing something that is extremely false. So it's like this whole loop around of just pretending, you know?
Right, yes, pretending. Like, and from I don't know, I just say from like a realist standpoint, if you live the lie, it's going to come back. I'm sorry, like it's going to reveal itself.
It's going to sooner
at its most inopportune time. Then you start living double lives. And stressing over how you can make yourself look like you do online, but knowing that's not even how it works.
And then, that's where catfishing comes from. And then you go meet someone and be like, they put up your Instagram like, this girl, she don't look like this. And now it's like, you're going to feel bad about yourself because now you're presenting who you really are to somebody that you are interested in. And they're not even interested in the real you because you have, modified yourself to be somebody, to fit somebody else's image of who you should be. And it's the whole thing is like really just going round and round and round and round, like the fox catches its tail or something like that.
Yeah. And but it's like if you do that behavior online, you really can think you're someone else. Like now I'm starting to get into mental health realm, right? Okay, because y'all know what's coming. Identity crisis, disassociation.
Oh my God, yes.
Almost like illusions.
Then you start to get anxiety, and you start to fear, like going out in public.
Yes.
Like, oh, I don't look. Oh my God, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys because you are family, basically. I had a time where I did suffer a small identity crisis because, like, I took a year off for school, and I feel like I ruined my reputation because of me taking a year off, and I felt like I was overcompensating because I needed something to fit in that hole. So I had to present myself in a way like I still got it. I'm not a dropout. Like, I'm still the Tavia that I'm still going to succeed. I'm going to be this. So I started to buy flashy things. I started to have I started to be more fashionable. Started to have a more appearance on social media. Just overcompensating, making myself still be seen as the person I was before. And then in the whole time I'm doing that, I was losing myself. So I felt drained, and I felt like nobody really cared about me. Nobody was really checking up on me. And I just was like, what am I doing? Like, am I actually catering to my needs right now? Or if I'm just making other people want to be where I'm at? So I had to stop that, and I had to tap back into who I am. And I'm like, okay, I'm not in school right now. What can I do to benefit me instead of sitting here pretending and making other people, want what I have?
Yeah.
So instead I took a year off from social media because it wasn't benefiting me. I knew, like, every time I post, somebody was going to judge, somebody was going to say something, So I wanted that outside validation to make me feel better because I wasn't doing much. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave this here because I know like I'm spewing off a lie and negativity, and in the end, I'm going to get negativity. So I need to find a positive in myself. I need to find something productive. So that's what I did, and
Yeah.
here we are.
There you go. And progress is
Here we
made.
are.
Yes. And I speak a lot about living authentically and living in your truth. And there are times when things are not a-okay or how you want them to be, and that's okay. You know, I'd rather you be honest with yourself about that and get
Yes.
the appropriate or the accurate help
Yes.
for it, or find the accurate solutions for it, rather than trying to know that it's there, the negative thoughts, negative feelings about yourself, and then compensate it or have a defense mechanism play it out, if you will. Like we talked about overcompensating, or just trying to hide that part and do the complete opposite, so that nobody really peers into what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be a roller coaster.
It is going to be a roller coaster, but that's how you have to understand and think about influence, because that's literally what it is. Like it affects you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, either in a good way or a bad way. So I was told earlier, y'all gonna love me with my quotes because I'm gonna be quoting out. So I was told recently, like everybody know that your body's your temple, right? But you can either have it contaminated or rejuvenated, but you can never have it both. So can allow you can allow anything to come into your temple or near your temple. But if it's not compensating, if it's what's the word I just used?
You said rejuvenating, or almost like toxic. You were saying.
It's so many thoughts going in my mind. I had a point and it just go away. But yeah, you can either allow somebody to come in and rejuvenate you, or someone who can destroy you in a sense. So be mindful, because your body is your temple, your mind is your temple, your work ethic is your temple.
Yes.
Everything that you produce is your temple. So you allow someone to speak negatively in your ear, that's what your temple is going to hold. You allow someone, or you allow yourself to watch something negative, that's what your body is going to want. Is going to crave all of this negativity. So keep in mind the influence you allow in your life, and that is my point. That is the point I was making.
Yes. A great point. No, it's a great point. And I am actively working on a mindfulness program. And for those who might be new to that term, mindfulness is being able to be in the present moment and be in insight of how you yourself are feeling within your body, externally. It's a program that helps you to reduce all the input that you're having, like the things around you, the things like that you're hearing, the thing that you're smelling. Like, you get real focused on your five senses. You become present in that. That is a big thing into mindfulness. And I'm working on how to, one, getting into that state of real presence where it's not, just so you can recognize, like, when something negative is coming to you or something positive is coming to you.
Yes.
This can be hard to decipher, because if we've never stopped to practice mindfulness, and how do you do that? Like, there's meditative practices, there's prayer, there's a lot of different ways to.
Ooh, I knew this was going to spiritual realm.
Hey, listen, they say to find your Zen.
Yeah.
Right? without substances. Pause.
And that's an influence.
Listen,
but we're not gonna tap back into. We're not gonna go too deep in that.
Into that. From a mental health perspective, to find your zen, which then once you know your center, you can really get in tune about like how this song has intended to make you feel. Like what shift? Because we're gonna find presence, and presence is pure. Body is a temple.
Yep.
Right? And you'll find it. And then as you go about your day and do things that you have to do, you'll kind of get this sense of, is this action, behavior, thought, is this person, is this place boosting me up? Or, gosh, it's draining the living life out of me.
Yeah.
That's mindfulness for you guys. Listen, don't you wait. Listen, I'm already talking about it to those who are part of it. It's coming soon.
Yeah, I feel like mindfulness is an important strategy to practice because not only are you mindful of yourself, you're mindful of others. You're more compassionate. You're more, just thoughtful in a way. So mindfulness is something we can definitely discuss, but not tonight because that's not the topic. The topic is influence.
Listen, and real quick. Another influence that we all have that we can't avoid, somehow, some way, some form, we have been influenced by our parents.
Oh my God! Why we didn't start the podcast with the parents? What? Oh my God! We're sitting here rambling.
Parents.
The parents would have took the whole episode. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's give it a couple minutes.
Hey, we might be here another 10 minutes because parents.
You can't avoid it.
Oh my God!
It's a building block to who we are as persons, like how we think, what we do, what feels right, what feels wrong. Before we can even make conscious decisions about this, we've been influenced by our parents to do it.
They teach us our belief systems. They teach us how to clothe ourselves. They teach us how to eat. They teach us how to manners, if you will. They teach us literally everything we know until we go on our own and we reteach ourselves. What?
If we reteach ourselves, because sometimes we don't even recognize.
Yeah.
I did you not. I was in a relationship, right? And
this is gonna be good, y'all.
I gotta tell a personal story. I was in a relationship, so I learned a lot of my things from my mother. She's been very influential to me.
Yeah.
And maybe because of genetics, I've just always gravitated to her and everything that she does. Anyways, so I was in a relationship and just arguing, just not having a good day, to say the least. And I kid you not, about 5 to 7 minutes within this argument, I sat back and relaxed and said, wow, I am exactly like my mother right now. Just the way I was arguing about my point at that time. I said, wow, that is my mother in me coming out.
And the realization would be like, whoa.
I said, where does that even come from? Like, I am an old person. Right. This was in my later years too, right?
Oh my God.
I'm like, wow. It was a new context, what we were arguing about and the why, all of that is something that I had not experienced about that context, if you will. So it's amazing how it brought out this unconscious at the time response that I have as far as trying to defend myself. Yes, I did tell my mother.
Yeah, oh my God. Honestly, I feel like though, if we started this podcast with the parent influence, we're rambling about all the influence we have in our lives, but we forget the major one.
Yes.
It's our parents, our family.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
The home, the household, the family, parents, mom, dad, brother, sister.
Oh my God, yes.
And it extends further depending on your culture, there's the collective culture where aunties and uncles, everybody got an opinion.
Bro, what? Oh, now I feel like I gotta tap in. Now we can't just say, "Oh, parents," and then in. No,
No.
We gotta keep going.
We have to.
Oh my
We
god,
have to.
we could have took the whole podcast, y'all. You got me intrigued.
We talked about, social media, yes.
Yeah.
Music and arts, yes.
But parents is more interesting.
Oh, parents. Woo, boy.
Oh my god.
I mean, I am a reincarnation of my mom. She says, I think I cloned you.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
this is, oh my god. You know what's so funny though? It's like, the more time you spend with somebody, you become the spitting image of them.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. But that's influence.
Yeah.
So I want to say a personal story too, because now I just remembered why this was one of the topics on the list anyhow.
Yeah.
Back when I first created the podcast, I was just going around like everyday things that happened to create topics. And I had a conversation with my brother. And by the end of the conversation, I felt so discouraged. And I'm like, why do I feel like that? And then I asked myself, it's because I grew up with this person my whole entire life. He helped me how to read.
Yeah.
He taught me how to cook. He taught me how to make friends, get out my comfort zone, be more confident and powerful within myself, being that I am a Black woman and I was the only woman in my household aside from my mother. So he was a big influence on me. I looked up to my brother. And everyone in my life back in the day know that he was a big influence.
Yeah.
So when this conversation concluded and I felt so discouraged, I'm like, I felt brokenhearted a little bit. And then I'm like, am I really going to just let him say these things and not pursue my dreams? And I'm like, no, just because you have one version of me in your head
yes.
doesn't mean I can't change.
There you go. Yes.
So for a split second, he was talking to me like, I don't think you could do this, Tay, because you're so antisocial. You're so to yourself. I don't think you're able to produce something with this magnitude. Like, you're so soft-spoken. No one can, if someone comes into your, event with a bigger personality, you're going to, cave in and you're just going to eventually give it up to them because you think they can control it better than you. So as he's speaking these things, I'm talking to myself in my head and I'm like, is he right? Am I really this, little girl? You feel me? So at the end of the conversation, I'm like, no.
Right.
No. I'm powerful.
Yes.
I'm powerful.
Yes.
So for that split second, he was influencing me to stop.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like you have the relationship with him where it's like, he's been a part of your life. He knows you. He sees you. He's seen you in a lot of different points of your life. And I don't even know if he meant that. And it was a discouraging measure, but I don't think he meant it as a way to harm you or
it wasn't like that. It's just the way that I felt because of his influence was so big on me.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, yes.
Maybe from him it was like a big brother protecting his little sister. Like, this is a new horizon for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you sure you can handle it? Type of thing. And being that he was saying the things and his influence on me, I had to you're my big brother. Of course, I'm gonna listen to what you're saying.
Right, always gonna take it.
And I'm gonna feel like you're right. You're always right. You're the big brother.
But that influence, my gosh.
Exactly.
Parents, family, good. That influence is hard.
And especially if they're older than you, because everything they say, they're automatically right. You have no say so to say, no, I disagree. No, you can't even say that.
Really.
You just have to go with the flow and be like, you know what, you're right. You're always right. And that's a big influence. And that's how I got to this topic anyway. I'm so glad you brought it up. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it's for good or for bad.
Yeah.
Because, there's also power struggles in certain relationships. Influential relationships, where it's especially when you're from 18 to 20, 21, still becoming your own person, the voice that you have it's maybe new, if you will, hasn't been seen in a certain light, and you have to like sometimes really fight to be heard, to say that I know what I'm talking about. I am capable. I hear what you say, but
I'm definitely able.
yeah, and within the family context, it's not always easy.
Especially being the youngest. I'm the youngest, and I'm the only girl.
Good luck twice.
So yeah, you're a girl, and then you're the youngest. What you're saying is you're always gonna, and that's the thing about being a young sister. You're always going to be looked at as the baby. No matter how old you get, no matter what you're doing, how much success you have, you're always going to look as the little baby, and are always going to want to protect you. And your parents are always going to be like, okay, I understand you from a kid point of view, but the grown people are talking.
Yes. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yes. It's all your life. I mean,
all your life.
My mom says, I don't care how old you're gonna get. You always gonna be my
baby. Oh my God.
Lord.
I really have to fight my mom with this, not physically, but like every time I go home and we're having a conversation, she always like, I don't care what you're talking about. You're always gonna be my baby. You're my kid. You're my child. I'm like, I'm not a child no more. I'm grown. I'm a grown woman, a grown young woman. Like, you gotta respect that. You know, I'm no longer this little baby that needs her handheld to go across the street.
As you raised us to be,
yeah.
Right, parents. I mean, we're not saying you did something wrong.
It's just like sometimes I gotta let go and let us prosper. You can't like, you know. And my mom, her favorite line is, I want an empty nest. I can't wait for all the birds to fly. I'm like, you holding me hostage. I'm trying to fly. I'm trying to, I'm trying to go. Like, they're so funny because they want to baby you and then they want you to go out on your own. And then when you do,
they want you to come back.
I tell you,
they want you to come back.
As soon as you pack all your things to go and you leave it, you know you always have a house.
There you go. There it is.
You always have a home here. My door's always open. Food always here. It's funny. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Parents are something. And you know what's crazy? We're sitting here talking about our parents and how they influence us.
Yeah.
In the future, we're going to be the same.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We're going to be the same.
You know, it's just life.
Yeah.
It's the rite of passage, if you will. Where, I mean, I get it, from birth to I guess till our teens, right? That's when we start to be rebellious.
Yeah, we're like, oof.
We are under
their supervision.
Like, you know, if something happened to us, the parents are to answer for our health, well-being, and all that. Yeah. And that's a huge responsibility. And, you know, it's like grained into them then, like, I take care of, you know, my children. Or I have to, you know, legally, the whole nine.
The whole nine.
And then we get to be rebellious. And then there's that stage of like, we want to be grown, but we're not grown. We don't even have a paycheck yet. Like,
we don't even know how to be grown, yeah.
But we want to be grown, we're out there, and that's a struggle. But, and then you get older. Like, you hit see, college is a really good time to become, it's becoming a lot more fitting and they call it emerging adulthood at that time, because you really get to be viewed as such. And you know what, the main reason why is because you have the opportunity to live outside the household. There's
you get something to find yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about going to campus, moving on campus, leaving the household to then, I ain't gonna say fend for yourself, but you want to be independent, be independent.
Yeah, it's an experience to learn how to be independent.
Oh, yeah.
So once you graduate, because like if you think about it, when you're in college, you're not really independent because you're probably going to school on your parents' dime. They will never let you forget that. They won't ever let you forget that.
They get good grades.
Right, and you're not really paying any bills because the university provides you light. Indeed. They provide you water, gas, electricity, all of these things. Yeah. So you're not really on your own. You're just away from home learning about yourself.
Yes.
So,
I mean, you have the opportunity. You know, some students go home on the weekends, but like Monday through Friday, living on campus. I mean, you don't necessarily have to make sure you're home by 8 o'clock at night
Oh yeah.
or
You living
whatever
that
curfew
life.
time it was.
Yeah.
You have your own space.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's watching. You get to have the opportunity to make good and or bad decisions. Hopefully, they're good.
It's like really, you're just out of your parents' roof finally, because all the things that you want to do that you're doing in college, you couldn't do under their roof. So it's literally just, living without your parents' influence.
Yeah.
Basically, that's
Yes.
what college is.
Yes. Or the stepping stone.
The stepping stones. So once you really graduate, your mother can't tell you, "Girl, get your butt in the house."
Yeah. I mean, and it's a lifelong experience with parental influence.
Mm-hmm.
Good and or bad. Like it's just the way life goes.
Yeah.
And the more, I would say, like, the more you're able to accomplish and do for yourself, I think the voice to at least stand your ground with parents becomes stronger, because I think then they start to see that, you know what, logically speaking, I can't even be mad.
Right.
Like, you got a degree, you got your house, you got your car, you're paying your bills.
You're
like,
doing it.
what's up?
And they could not only be proud of themselves,
Yeah,
like,
and that's what it is. And they just want to
they
They
just
just want to press their little hand really quick, though.
parents. And that's another thing. We're gonna tap into that topic sooner or later. Control issues, man. We're gonna tap into that. But tonight was a great episode, and I like that you waited until last.
Oh, you gotta save the best for
Got me amped. I'm saying, because parents, they don't know when to stop.
Nah.
Oh my
Lord.
God.
Listen, I tell you, if you guys can, live on campus. If parents is driving you up a wall, live on campus.
Oh my God.
The freedom, the peace. Well, I'm gonna say peace. I didn't say peace. The freedom to explore a bit more is wonderful, and it's the rite of passage, if you will.
Yeah.
It is normal to go to college and live there. It's your easy way out, is what I'm trying to say. Just try it. It's night and day, I promise.
Yeah. Parents, man. This was
Shout out to our parents. We love our parents.
Absolutely. You know? Black
Don't hate me if you watch this.
Black parents produce black
Yes.
power.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I'm gonna end this episode. We went over the 10-minute mark. I don't want to go over it again because this is a really good, interesting topic to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
We have to bring it back. We should have started the podcast with it, but it was a good turnout. And of course, as you know, I gotta end it with a quote.
Here she go again, y'all.
Love my quotes, man.
I was saying because our projector has been playing with us, but you know what? We gonna get it better. We're gonna get it right.
Hey, we only on episode 6.
Right.
Don't sweat us too much. Not too much. But this is the quote of the night.
You have the floor. By all means.
True power is living the realization that you are your own healer, hero, and leader. And with that, good night. And I'll see you next week when we talk about what is love. What does love got to do with it? What? But have a blessed night. Thank you so much for getting this far and watching What Is Up with Mental Health and everything else. And we will see you Thursday. Thank you for all our supporters, all our watchers, and we don't got no sponsors, so can't thank anybody. We're gonna get there. But thank you so much. And have a blessed night. Mwah.
Have a good night, everyone.